So in this little video today, I'm going to give you a demonstration on how I set up my equatorial mount. And then I'll give you an example of how it works on a globe and how it's impossible to be used on a flat earth. And I'll have to change camera angles here and there, so I'll do it in steps. So the first thing, I'm in the southern hemisphere, so obviously I want to face south. And I'll grab my compass and I'll just line it up. So here we're facing 180 degrees south. Problem with that is, that's the magnetic South Pole, and we want to be facing the geographic South Pole. So we've got to take into account the magnetic declination, which, by the way, kills the flat Earth again. So down here it's 13 degrees. So instead of going to 180 degrees, I want to go to 193 degrees, give or take. I'm only just doing this rough. So I'm on 193. I'll give that a bit of a rotation. That's good enough. Now I'm facing the geographic South Pole, not the magnetic South Pole. To give a general idea on how bad it would be to navigate on a flat Earth, the difference is around about that. That's a pretty serious discrepancy. It's pretty much why you could never navigate anywhere on a flat Earth. So that's pretty much step one. The second step is the angle. I'm south, obviously, 41.2 degrees south. So what I want to do is angle this up to 41.2 degrees south. So I'll just quickly do that. I've got an inclinometer on this, which is pretty awesome. This is close enough. So 41 degrees. Might not work. That's pretty much step two. Step three is pretty straightforward. Get me tracker, slide it on, tighten it up. Now at this point I'm roughly aligned with the southern celestial pole. But what I'll do, I'll wait till the sun goes down and it's night time. I'll take this cap off and I look up through the viewfinder and I'll align it with 3 stars, because Polaris Australis, the southern celestial pole, is extremely difficult to see, but there's 3 stars around it, and there's 3 alignment marks inside this eyepiece, and I align that with the 3 stars, and that's pretty much step 3. And then the final step is to just add this, screw that on, and then up here I can attach camera, telescope, whatever, and then all I have to do is loosen up these clutches, move them around to point to whatever I want to point at, sun, moon, stars, whatever, doesn't matter, tighten them up, switch it on, and it'll track the sun all day long, and the sun, the moon and the stars and whatnot, all night long on one single axis, which is impossible, again, on a flat Earth. So this is just a little visual representation of what I've just done then. I've got a globe and I've sliced it in half. This line here is the equator, and I'm at 41.2 degrees south. So I'm going to draw a line, 41.2 degrees. Yeah. Right, so where this line intersects the circumference of the circle, that's where I live. So now I want to level the tripod and the mount. So from where I live, I'm going to come around 90 degrees. So this line here is now my horizon line and is also level in respect to the globe. And now I'm going to just draw a line from the center here down. I'll go 10,000 kilometers. So right here is the South Pole. If somebody was at the South Pole and they were looking directly up this direction, I know it's down, but This is a globe, so it's up as well. So if they're looking in this direction, they're looking at the south celestial pole. And now from where I am, where I change the angle of the mount, I go from my horizon line and I come up 41.2 degrees, which is my latitude. And as you can see, they're both facing in the same direction. Now, if you were to set up an equatorial mount on a flat Earth, this is pretty much what you'd be doing from roughly my location. So the first thing we'd do, we'd head south. This is the direction we're pointing in. And then we want to adjust the elevation of our mount coincides with our latitude. In this particular case, it's up 41.2 degrees. So from my location, that is the direction I'm looking in. The problem you've got next is if I was to move over to Ecuador, I'm now facing in this direction, which is obviously a completely different direction. And the other problem you've got is the latitude to Ecuador is around about 0.5 degrees. So the elevation of the mount would be around about 0.5 degrees. So we're looking in that direction now. As you can see, shit just doesn't work. Now the new problem, and not the new problem, the other problem you have is the flat Earth. This apparently is your sun path, assuming it's over the top of the Tropic of Capricorn. Now, if I was right about here and I set up my equatorial mount and I tracked the sun on one axis, that would be the path that would follow. As you can see, it just doesn't work.